There you go. Ah,
Oh, is it ready?
hello, we have with us my patron here, a person who has absolutely saved my buns as I've come out here to Bowling Green. We have Dan.
Dan Pearson. Yep. And spent some time in the Navy, and he was just asking me a little bit about some of these ships. That carrier, I was telling him sometimes we'd deploy, and there would be birds living in the hangar bay, and they would leave the ship with, or leave shore with us, and they would go out to sea with us. And sometimes there would be other animals. There was a famous squirrel on one deployment that would run around the hangar bay and steal food. Like when we were getting food on loads, it would steal little boxes of cereal and run off with them. And the ship's executive officer, which was a Navy captain, pretty high up person, actually caught the squirrel one day, and it bit him and escaped. So anyhow,
You had to be a talented guy to catch a squirrel in the first place.
yeah. So I don't know why he was trying to catch it barehanded, but yeah. And I told him the story about this bird that was exhausted after, I don't know, 3, 4, 5 days of storm. We were in a pretty harsh storm, and it was trying. We could see for a couple hours this bird was trying to catch the ship. Like it was just trying to find a place to land, and it finally landed on my gun deck, which was on the very back of the ship. Literally, it landed right about here, and it was so tired it just flopped on the ground and didn't pay me any mind at all when I picked him up and carried him into our shop and put it into a great big garbage can with some rags in the bottom. I threw a blanket over the top, and we think it slept for 2 days because we didn't hear a peep out of it. It was just exhausted. And it stayed with us for another, I don't know, day and a half, 2 days. And we would feed it sardines and crackers, whatever else it would eat, and lots of water. And oh yeah, it pooped everywhere. And when it seemed to be really having its strength back, I would leave the door of the shop open, and it would go out, come in, go out, come in. And then one time it went out, went to the rail, and flew off. So he got his strength back and went back to doing whatever it does that those birds do. But it was cool having that little visitor with us for a few days. It was a nice little spot in the middle of the deployment. So,
Oh man.
and yeah, this picture of this particular ship, the destroyer. We were doing anti-submarine warfare maneuvers, and I actually had the deck, so I had the ship at that time. So I was doing these really fast, high-speed turns. It was cool, a lot of fun, and a helo got a picture of it, and so that ended up being my part of my retirement package. They gave me that flag that we flew on the ship on my last deployment while we were up in the Arabian Gulf, and framed that picture with a little thing.
So have you served? How many different positions have you served across these 7 boats?
Different positions? Oh boy, I don't know.
Is that they have you guys bouncing around everywhere?
In the military, especially in the Navy, on ships, and this is, I was in through the 80s, 90s, and into the early 2000s. I was mostly ships, and when you're on a ship, if you're good at something, that's what you do. It doesn't matter what your job title is. You could be a cook, but if you're really good at, I don't know, electronics, they'll have you working in the electronics shop. It's just you put people where they best fit. And my background was repair, but once I was commissioned, every ship I served on, I had some talent as a ship driver. So the captains would always put me on the bridge. So that's what I did for my 10 years of commissioned service on ships. They just put me on the bridge. So
Now, is that once you got there the first time? What was it? Do you remember kind of like the first time that you got there to be on the bridge and at the helm?
Well, the first time that they gave it to me without anybody over me watching me, I remember it because the feeling of the responsibility just hit me. During that 5-hour watch, it's your ship. I mean, obviously the captain's always going to be to blame, but if anything happens to the ship, you're the guy in charge of the ship at that moment. So it's usually you and the captain. They're going to go down. So yeah, so it's just, you know, all the responsibility. But
I was like, oh, this million dollar asset is in my hands. This is my two
and
hands
all
on
these
the wheel.
people, all these people on the ship. So yeah, it usually out in the middle of the ocean, no big deal. But like that ship, I think it was just that ship. I took it up the Willamette River. And I took it from the Pacific Ocean upriver to Portland, Oregon. That was really cool, driving that thing in a river.
Had to be a big river. It couldn't have been a small one.
Yeah, it's not real small, but
Did you ever have to go into any of those kind of like locks where they fill the water up and
yeah.
you?
Mm-hmm.
And
Panama Canal.
You went through the Panama Canal?
Yeah, did that on this one, and yeah, I would have had the ship, because it takes you, I don't know, day and a half or so to get through all the way through. So I had the deck on several occasions as we were going through the canal, and yeah, that was the smallest ship I was assigned to. It was a lot of fun, a lot of work, but a lot of fun.
All right, there's a lot. Are there any stories behind any of the signatures on this plaque?
It's been a while since I've.
Because you were definitely a well-loved individual.
So it was. I told you I was a former enlisted, so I spent 13 years as an enlisted person. And this guy, Ken Jipping, was also a former enlisted, and he used to call me Pharaoh. So I started calling him Xerxes. So Pharaoh in his eye, Xerxes, my golden scepter will always be extended to you. Thanks for the fun. Yeah. So, anyways, it was. Let's see if there's any stories I can think of. Yeah, just the typical, you're a great guy, go leave. Oh, the winds have never been meatier. That was the guy who was in charge of the air detachment. So we had a helo that was assigned to the ship. And when you have the deck, you have to get the ship where it's going. So you have a course of speed you got to make. But when you're launching and recovering helos, you have to have the wind envelopes correct. So a lot of people would cheat on the side of the ship. I never did. I always cheated for the helicopter, because who cares if we need to make up another hour? You know, if we get the winds wrong and the helo crashes, that's a big deal. So I always gave them meaty winds to launch and recover. So yeah, it was a good career.
Like people first. You're the man.
People first, absolutely. So, yeah.
The month of May.
Anyways, I think they probably want to spend a little time with you too.
You are a busy man. Thank you very much, Dan.
Oh, sure, absolutely. So,
It could be something else.
yeah, maybe some other time we'll do some more stories.
I'd love to hear